and I'm so grateful for that. And clearly those friendships have lasted years now. At this time, I'll turn to Chairman Rambler for his opening remarks and also for a blessing on our meeting today.
Okay, why don't we go ahead and start with the blessing? If we could all stand, please. Kegunan shita hiye kusangkai di da ji be wane go leon sangkai no la di ni na an ni na di 2010 na di start got out start si tlaw di start si tlaw ne wala an ni ne de sai bi de so di tu bu wa hola because e tu na no dio got out sangkai yo o ze sane ala shta on di ta na ji ta out in e bu wa la ji no sa da de ha yo sto he ana di tu so da baptism de agat out an ist in la di da ji sangkai a ko ne no ne because are you no shagasha da takyo as a teenager there sai ki arol de there sai dilak ado no shagasha ba takya right le college as de sai na teach there sai jolly as de e sto da nicht in la da ji sto ko da u de gaho as de la sai no jo da dis city koda an lini agat out an ist in le ana di koda u de gaho so agat out so nek ka chu ga le di kola de pa ala ini wala shagasha sai mala yan so I wa di like out down no fa chu tin on lek agunan shita aku bi ke ka le shil shai ka le so tin nek sai ka so da sai tin nek ke yu ka so da no wa shil shai ka ho di wala ka yo chu ga le ana agunan shita di da chin yai ti e wuzon yai ti lek agunan shita ana di ko a sai ti bi kero da no wa wona ka yo da no wa lu tin ta ho ra ko nan ka lek agunan shita ana a hi ye da chin i da no fa na ai la za ba keren tsada e ana di sto inni e sai da wa no fa ni e sa no fa ni ani bi ka ran tlini ni ne de o balon tsai ka agunan shita da wa ba keren tsela ana e ana sta yai ti le da chin wuzon le ana ka agunan shita hi ye di ko yes, but no difference so much. Amen. Good morning, everybody. My name is Terry Rambler, chairman of the San Carlos Apache tribe. I've been a member of the tribal council since 2004. Mrs. Bernadette Goody to my left. She has seniority on me by 2 years, so I always have to look at her before I agree to anything. But we're all happy to be here. We really are. When we get a chance, the rest of our council members will introduce themselves. And on our end today, this is not a formal meeting for us, and we're here as part of this Gilbert's formal meeting, but to us it's an informal meeting. And we appreciate generosity extended by Gilbert inviting us here. And this started back in 2010, and even before that, when negotiations started. So in 2010, we agreed, our tribal council at that time, and it's still there, the agreement that we agreed to lease Gilbert water, and we all know how precious the water is. More precious than gold, silver, or diamond, and it's the giver of life, and we respect that. And since that time, there's been some challenges to having that agreement approve, the final approval that we need, and I know that's what we're going to start working on. And Mayor Daniels has graciously invited me to attend a meeting in D.C. with BOR and BIA on June 1st, which I have accepted to go with them, and I'll be inviting any of our members of our council that wish to go also to that meeting in D.C. and to jointly go there and to make sure that what we have agreed to happens. And in addition to water, as we move forward too, also, obviously, we'll be inviting the town council also to our lands in San Carlos and see for yourself who we are as a people and how we live as a people and the challenges and issues that are facing us. So my hope today is that, and our hope today is that this relationship goes beyond water. We have challenges in our school district, and I always see the city of our town of Gilbert up there as far as meeting the academic standards for their children, and those things would be good to share with us. And we also have our challenges with housing. We also have our challenges with public safety. Alcohol and drugs is a big issue, and I'm also happy to say that the council is in the process of starting our own San Carlos Apache College this August. We have partnered with the Tono Altam Community College, who we're using their accreditation. We're under their umbrella. We're guessing that it's going to take us about 3 to 5 years to get our own accreditation, then we'll be officially on our own. But we're, in that area. And also a very important area also is which is on everybody's mind, is jobs and creating new streams of revenue. And in our tribal government, we're still dependent on certain sources of revenue, and we would like to diversify that. We would like to be able to get new revenue streams, and I know Gilbert has has good economic development in their area, and anything that we can share and eventually partner moving down the road, that would really be huge for both of us, and to get to know each other, to become not only good partners but good neighbors, and help each other and make life better for not only us but others in the state of Arizona. So that's our hope today.
We'd love to have everyone introduce themselves at this time. So we will. We would love to start with Bernadette here, Bernadette Goody. And if you wouldn't mind introducing yourself, and we'll come around. And I didn't mean to skip you, but we'll have you bring up the tail here. Okay, excellent.
Good morning. It's good to be back in Gilbert after so many years. Just recognizing the building, I knew I was here. Didn't get lost. So thankful for that. I'm also thankful to our Heavenly Father for bringing us back together again here, and knowing that the friendship has grown amongst us, and not just by what we've agreed upon in 2010, but knowing there is a reason for all that we come together for. So once again, I'm thankful to be here. My name is Bernadette Goody, 7 Mile Council District Member. Been a council member since 2002, serving my 4th term here. So I'm very thankful again, wants to be here again. And thank you, Jen. It's always good. I was so excited to come here to see Jen. I was like, oh, good, I get to see her. And here I come to Gilbert almost every other week. I'm eating in Arby's, or I'm down the road somewhere, and I know a couple of times when there was campaign in the district, I'd see her billboards with her name on it. I know her, every stop sign I'd go by. But again, thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Bridget Peterson, member of the Gilbert Town Council. I've served on the council since 2015. I'm in the process of my 1st term, and look forward to continuing and building this and strengthening this relationship with San Carlos.
Good morning. My name is John Antonio. I represent 7 Mile District. Bernadette is my colleague. I'm a newly elected, and you can say I'm a rookie. But I bring a lot of work experience with me to tribal government. And I worked in a lot of various jobs with the school district, housing authority, construction. I have a background that I feel I can utilize it in the tribal government. But I knew there was a reason why I needed to go to Gilbert. I have a project that I started working on, and I discussed it with Bernadette the other day, that I was going to start working on a Veterans Memorial Monument outside our gymnasium. And when I approached the park in the front here, I noticed a monument. So I was going around there taking pictures, and I want to bring that idea to San Carlos and design it in a native fashion. And I think it'll turn out good. I knew why I came here. But again, thank you for inviting me here. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Simon Hook. I'm the councilman for the Gilson Wash District. It's my second term. And like John was saying, I bring a lot of work experience into the government. Been in telecommunications for about 15 years. Cable TV for 15 years before that. But all in all, a lot of cowboying too in between time. Rodeos and ranching, raising cattle. So we have 5 cattle associations on our reservation, and it used to be one of the biggest Hereford cattle associations in the nation at one time, back in the 60s and the 70s. But with the drought and the elders leaving and things that happened, we kind of went down on our industry. But we're working on bringing it back up. So it's coming along. It's slowly but surely. It's just that's cowboy life is like. I'm turning back to that more because it seems like this walk that we're in now is just flying. It's just seems like I was just a teenager yesterday, but now I'm almost 60 years old and time is flying. But if you work on cattle, horses, and you're out on a ranch, it slows time down. I tell you, I enjoy it. That's the cowboy life. But thank you for inviting us here, and I know that we can get a good relationship going and get our industry back up through cattle and water and all the natural resources we have to offer in our reservation. So thank you, and God bless you.
Well, thank you, and good morning to each one of you, Chairman Rambler and your council. We're so glad to have you here, and we appreciate it. My name is Jared Taylor. I'm serving in my second term here on the town council. Arizona native, and just been here in Gilbert for about 20 years. My background is in business with high-tech manufacturing and human resources. Currently in public education, serve on the State Board of Education, so very pleased to hear your interest and commitment in higher education, and certainly know the value that brings into a community, and whatever we can do to help strengthen and partner there, would love to do that. But welcome, and we're looking forward to the discussions, and so appreciate the relationships that we have already and will have in the future. So thank you, Mayor.
Good morning. My name is Velasquez W. Sneeze Sr., and I'm going to cut everything short as to what I had done in my lifetime. But the very first thing that I would like to share with you is that I was the first Apache that joined the Highway Patrol, Department of Public Safety. And I'm the second in the state of Arizona. The Navajo was the first, and I was the second, and the Hopi was second, third. They went by our last name. But being with the Department of Public Safety, it opened up my eyes as to what our people needed. And after I came back to the reservation, because the council had asked the director of DPS to have me come back and do a survey and find some money for the court system and the law enforcement. And while doing that, I got into politics. I became the chairman of the school board. And then after that, I went into tribal government. That was back in 1980. And in 1982, I ran for the House of Representatives, but I wasn't successful. And I can proudly say that with as many non-Indian running for the position, I came in fourth. And there was 2 positions open at that time. And having this experience as a councilman, I was the youngest at that time, and I served 5 years because of the way the law had changed. And I redeveloped a lot of law enforcement and the court system and youth program while I was on the council. And thereafter, I established the prosecutor's office at the request of the council. And then I went back into my private practice as a tribal court advocate, and also had my own business. And while doing that, the tribal chairman at that time, Chairman Stanley, had invited me back to the reservation to rewrite the tribal constitution, which I did for 2 years. And then thereafter, the people had requested for me to run for the vice. So I ran for the vice chairmanship. And then after that, I got defeated because I ran for the chairman. But during that time, the council had requested for me to establish domestic violence program. And so I worked there for 10 years. And then the people asked me again to run for the council. So I ran for the open position, which my colleague to my left, Vice Chairman Teo Apson, had left when he won the position. And since then, I have been reelected. And so, but during that time as a vice chairman, the council had passed a resolution to represent them in the water rights negotiation along with the tribal attorney. And we had established a relationship with Gilbert at the time when we got the settlement. And I remember where we negotiated this 100-year lease for the water. So here I am again after almost 22 years, talking about the water rights. And water rights is important, like the way Governor Hall stated. Whoever has control of the water is going to be the powerful tribe or the powerful government entity. And I can see how true it is, because we are all fighting for what God has given us, instead of sharing it, saying, yes, this belongs to everybody. We want more. But rightfully, in the history, we, the Native American, had this land, and we have the right to the water. So that's how it was decided in the court, and that's how San Carlos had won the settlement. And I would welcome everybody here to our reservation and see how we live and see why we're fighting for the water and also for funding in the federal government. And we need your help to help us lobby to get all this funding on the reservation. So I thank you again for inviting us here. And I have a statement here. This young lady, there she is. I came in, she was all alone with my colleague, John. And she introduced herself. And then she said, there's some refreshment in the corner, if you would like to, there's coffee, and she went on and on. And I told her, I looked at her real serious, and I said, I don't eat those kind of food. But I said, I want to place an order. I said, I want a fried bread and beans. And then he made a statement right there and said, yes, it has to be cooked outside too. She thought that I was really serious about it. Her face was like, man, what did I do here? And then I told her, I said, I'm joking. So I'm really excited to be here in this meeting. Thank you.
Well, good morning. It is fantastic to hear your stories of humility. Thank you. And hearing about your family at the San Carlos Apache Nation. My name is Eddie Cook. My wife and I have lived in Gilbert since 1986. We have raised our 5 children, and some of them have left and some of them come back. Sometimes it's some type of a boomerang effect. I'm not sure yet, but we appreciate the love that they give us and so forth. My heritage is Japanese. My mom was born in Okinawa. I was born in Okinawa. And council member, my dad was a career Air Force for 30 years, and he had been stationed in Okinawa and met my mom there. And I have many Japanese uncles, aunts, and cousins that still live there, and we do communicate from time to time and visit, and they've come to visit here in the U.S. I had never thought that being an elected official was on my long-term or short-term plans or dreams. And I think God had some sense of humor when he allowed this to be part of my journey. And my wife today still thinks God is still laughing at that. I looked at being part of the council as an extension of my Catholic faith as it relates to service. And I know that my colleagues look at this as service to our community. And there's nothing more than what we give than we receive in many, many ways in our community. We look forward to our 2 families becoming united as one family. And whatever we can share in this meeting, I look forward to visiting your community in the near future. So I will take you up on your challenge to come visit with that. And again, I look forward to our rest of our day and so forth, but thank you.
Hi, I'm Teo Edvison. I'm the Vice Chairman of the San Carlos Apache Tribe. You know, the reservation is comprised of 4 districts, and one district is Gilson Wash District. That's where my colleague Velasquez Sneezy is a councilman. The other is 7 Mile District, and that is the district where Bernadette Goody, council member here, and John Antonio represent that district. There's also the Peridot District. We have 2 council members for that district. And I think they are not here today. I don't see them. And then we have the Vilas District. And there are 3 council members there. Are any of them here? Oh, Ned Anderson Jr., a newly elect, supposed to be here too. So I'm just really happy to be here. I was here when the agreement was struck back in, I think it was 2010. And you know, the thing about agreements between the Apache people and non-Indians has always been a good one historically. General Crook, when he was dealing with Geronimo and some, they called it resistant Apaches back then, he employed Apache scouts. And the Apache Scouts would sign an agreement, and they just mark an X on the agreement, and it was for a term. So during the term of that contract, the Apache Scouts really honored their contract. General Crook was so impressed with their loyalty to the agreement and the terms of the contract that they've entered into with the cavalry. So he actually asked Congress if Apaches could be given the right to vote. This was way back when it would be unimaginable to even bring up a subject like that. But he was able to find in the Apache people that we honor our word. We are good to our word. We are people that stand by our word. So I'm really happy to be here, and I want to continue that tradition. If we have to join forces to pursue this lawsuit that's needed to get this agreement to get executed and going, because it benefits both the town of Gilbert, it benefits our people at the San Carlos Apache tribe, and that's what we're here for. You know, we're elected officials to look after our people and to do what's in their best interest for their future as well, and I'm really happy to be a part of this. I've been on the council since 2007. I was a district council member. I was elected in 2007 to fill a vacancy. I termed out that vacancy, then I won re-election several times, and then midterm of my last term as a Gilson Wash council member, I got elected as vice chairman. So here I am, my first term as vice chairman. Next year, I guess, we'll see what happens. That next election is next year. But I'm really thankful for being here, Mayor and members of the Town Council for the Gilbert. Thank you. Yeah.
Well, good morning. I just first want to comment how much I've enjoyed listening to each of your stories. I feel enriched already. I'm grateful that we've been able to meet with you this morning and look forward to the time remaining. My name is Victor Peterson. I'm currently serving as a vice mayor here in the town of Gilbert. I'm not sure if that's a coveted position or a dreaded one. I'm not sure. But I am still very honored to do that. Grateful for that opportunity. I was first elected to the council in 2011. The history behind all of that I won't share today, but I'll just say that I do have a passion for public policy. I have a passion for protecting the rights of our citizens, and I hear some of that passion from others here, and that's really what drives me. I've also enjoyed the themes this morning of history and of family and how intertwined those two are. I'll just briefly tell you a little bit about my family history. In about 1950, the Peterson family, being my grandpa at the time, they came here to Gilbert, and there's been a Peterson family presence ever since. And we just love this area. It's beautiful, truly is our home. It's been a place of peace and prosperity, and we're very grateful for that. In fact, interesting note, I think the council members will get a kick out of this. They haven't heard this, my colleagues. I found a Gilbert Chamber of Commerce membership card with my grandpa. It's actually Grandpa Warren Peterson's name on it. And so that was really interesting. Our family has had an interest in being involved in the community at large for a long time. I'm grateful to say that I've been married for 16 years. I think that, for me, that relationship gets sweeter with each year, and truly what I value most in my life. I'm also a very proud father of 5 beautiful children. How grateful I am for them. I just want to close by saying how grateful I am for the tribe's willingness to continue to work with us on the issue of water and how that fits very well into history and family and future. It's critical for our future and for our families, and we're grateful for the tribe and their commitment to helping us make sure that we have what we need to support our families for the future, especially as we do have some growth ahead of us, which is an exciting thing that I think we all welcome. And so with that, thank you again to the tribe. Grateful again to be here with you.
Thank you. That's the council members, the chairman and myself, but we have other people with us today that are important parts of our of our dialogue. And so I would like to first start and just do some quick introductions. We have Lisa Maxwell here. She's the town clerk for the town of Gilbert. We have our assistant town manager, Mark Skasipik, here. And we also have our assistant town attorney, Chris, here as well. And then Leah, I saw sitting, she was the one, Councilman Sneezy, that was so helpful this morning. So that's Leah, and she's she had to step out for a second. She's what we call an assistant to the town manager, so she deals mostly with special projects. Melanie Dykstra, who just stood, is one of the individuals in our community who's responsible for assisting with those in need in our community. So she has a great pulse on the needs of our community, the senior center, those who need assistance with major and minor home repairs, anything that would have to do with nonprofits and nonprofit service. She works closely with the Gilbert Boys and Girls Club and others. Renee Guillen, Renee just waved for, yep, there's Renee. Renee, we stole him from the governor's office. You get a bad rap when you steal people from the governor, but we that's a good add to Gilbert. Renee serves as our intergovernmental relations director, and that means that he works with our school districts, the legislature, the governor's office, any regional association we might be part of, and that's Renee's responsibility. And then we have some special guests here today, people who have been critical to the town of Gilbert and our success. We have our Mayor's Youth three representatives from our Mayor's Youth Advisory Committee. School got out already in Gilbert, so they're on their summer break, and they came here because they are interested in having a dialogue with each of you, and I think we'll get a chance to speak with them more at lunch, and you'll get to know them. And then our Native American management interns, past and present, are here. So in 2013, and we'll talk about this a little bit further, I'd love for each of you to introduce yourselves as well in just a minute. But in 2013, Leah, a special assistant to the manager, started a program in town called the Native American Management Intern Program. We call it NAMI for short, and it's the first of its kind in the state of Arizona. And the contributions that these young men and women have made at an executive level have been tremendous. And Samantha even has a pretty spectacular story to tell, which we'll let her tell in just a little bit. But if all of you would please stand and introduce yourself, and if you'd introduce your wife as well, that'd be great. Thanks. We're going to grab you a mic. I'm sorry. Sometimes the air in here is really loud. Yeah.
Okay, I'll start over. Everybody told me to start over. My name is Darnell Baker. I'm originally from Newtown, North Dakota. I've been living in Arizona for about 17 years now. I was with the NAMI internship for 2 semesters. Last fall semester I started, and then I finished up this spring. The first semester I was following Leah around. She's pretty fast, so she kept me on my toes. This past semester I was working with Parks and Recreation Department, working with some of their special events on their special events team. And I finished up just a couple weeks ago. Graduated with my master's in American Indian Studies, special in concentration in leadership, tribal leadership and governance. So I graduated with my master's last week, and Leah invited me to come back over here to witness some of the tribal government interaction with Gilbert. And brought my wife with me this time. She's actually got some bloodline with San Carlos Apache, and she's currently working on her doctorate degree. So we're just here to witness, look on, and get some experience and see how the relationship works with tribal government and town government.
Hello, good morning, everybody. My name is Dante Johnson. I've been with the NAMI program for 2 semesters. This is going to be my 3rd for the summer. I graduated last spring with my engineering degree, and then I'll be finishing up in December with my master's in management degree. So I'm kind of well-rounded engineering. I'm in the planning department now. I did IT last semester doing management, so I'm excited for everything. And I'm excited to have you guys all here today. Thank you.
Kishi, hello. Ho Samantha Harris let Shina ho Dakya Kwete Yan Shobedo Awan Chatle. My name is Samantha Harris. I'm Hopi Zunian Tonatum. I was with the NAMI program spring of 15 during my senior year. I graduated from ASU spring of 15 with a bachelor's in American Indian Studies. When I was here at that time, I had done some mentor work with the Native American youth in Gilbert Public Schools, and I was lucky enough to be invited back spring of 16, in which I interned for a whole year. I started with Leah in the intergovernmental relations when she was the director, and from there she moved to the manager's office, so I started there the next time around, and then I also did some work in Parks and Recreation, also in the special events. I had a really big passion working with our Native American youth here in Gilbert. We have about a little over 500 students. So through my work with the NAMI program, through the staff at GPS, they saw what I had done, and they basically were able to create a position for me in which I can continue that work. I am a district Title I parent liaison, and the other half is also the same thing for our Native American students and families in GPS. And I appreciate being invited here today. It's really nice to see everybody. And yeah, that's a little bit about me. Thank you.
Yate, good morning. My name is Samantha. I am the newest installment of the NAMI program. I started on Monday, so far so good. My background, I did a lot of outreach work in environmental nonprofits in the past and working with Native youth in Northern Arizona. And that's my passion. And I came into the NAMI program on Monday. I'll be working with Melanie and Leah on some nonprofit research collection and also working to develop this NAMI program a little bit further. I graduated from NAU last December, and I will be starting my master's in sustainability at ASU this fall. So I'm excited about that. I'm interested in economic development and also bringing tribal nations into the conversation about sustainability because that's often sort of way low on the docket, but it's really important, I think. So thank you for inviting me, Leah, and I look forward to the presentations and discussions. Thank you.
Good morning. I take it I'm to introduce myself.
Yes, and also the 2 individuals behind you. Leah, you stepped out when I introduced you, but I think you should introduce yourself. You've been instrumental in this, so please.
Thank you, Mayor, Chairman. It's an honor to be here and for all of us to be a part of the meeting today. This is such a wonderful, historic coming together of our 2 communities, so thank you. Leah Hubbard-Reinheimer, I'm an assistant to the manager here in Gilbert and have had the privilege of working with Mayor Lewis and now Mayor Daniels on their vision of broadening our cultural understanding of the Native American nations that are here in Arizona and how we can be better partners. And so it's been a privilege to be able to work on this program with our Native American students, and they've been teaching us quite a bit as well, and well, they intern with us. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce Al Bitsui and Eric Jensen here in the back. Al actually is a town employee in our technology division, and he just volunteered. I don't know if you've ever thought of it as formally as this, but he volunteered to help take our Native American student interns under his wing and welcome them into the organization and help show them the ropes and just make them feel comfortable and feel like they're a part of our family. And so he's been doing that almost from day one, and so we just are really appreciative of him.
Thank you, Leah. Yate bene she Alan she. You can trade on sha. Change kin inshly. Trotsoni bashes chin kiani dash che. Trotsoni dash another. Equatal the Nenchle. Good morning, everybody. My name is Albert Tsui. I'm from Ganado, Arizona, born and raised. I am an actual IT guy here for the town of Gilbert, and it's been a good journey for me. Got to meet with a lot of people, working with the Native Americans interns, and got to work with a lot of wonderful people. And I just want to thank you for being here, and I'm pretty much the IT support here for today. Thank you again.
Hello, my name is Eric Jensen. I'm with the IT department, just here observing and seeing if there's anything I can assist with.
If you wouldn't mind bringing the mic all the way forward, and Chairman Rambler would like to introduce two special guests.
If Kevin and Alex can introduce themselves.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Kevin Cassador. I work in the Tribal General Manager's office in an apprentice position. I've been there for about 7 months and working closely with our current General Manager, who's been there for, well, he tells me longer than I've been alive, so over 40 years, I think. So it's been quite an experience, but it's an honor to be here and a privilege, so thank you.
Mayor Daniels, members of the Town Council, my name's Alex Ritchie. I've introduced myself already to some of you. I'm the attorney for the San Carlos Apache tribe.
Thank you. And Chairman Rambler, not to put you on the spot, but I'd like to hear more about your story as well. Would you be willing to share with us?
My counsel always get a kick out of this when I say this. I'm just a poor guy from Vilas, Arizona. But first of all, I'm just very humble again to be here. But life's journey has put me in certain situations along the road, and I think our Creator God, in His own way, humbled me along that way, so that to get me ready to serve the people. And He's taught me along the way certain things too that I guess in hindsight I needed to know. And one of those humbling experiences was to be a single parent. My children, when I became a single parent, were 3, 2, and 9 months old. And now they're 23, 22, and 20. And so out of everything that my whole lifetime that's probably the most proudest I've been, because that was the most challenging part of my life and also the most rewarding at the same time. And going through that process taught me a lot about even your kids teach you, they teach you about time management, they teach you about prioritizing, they teach you about getting the clutter out of the way, and those simple things in life that they teach us that help prepare us to become who we are as leaders. And most of all, they teach us unconditional love, and for that I've always been appreciative of that. And they also teach us that during hard times too, that we never forget that there is something that we were given that's called faith, to know that there is the unknown, and at the same time to know that there is hope, and that there is love out there, and that we never forget in those times of what we may perceive to be darkness or hopelessness, is that we've been given something called faith. And then to me, faith is about not knowing something or not seeing something, but still your heart believes that it is the right thing. And I believe today us being here is the right thing for us moving forward. And I'm just thankful to be here. Thank you, Mayor.
I will be brief, but I have been serving on the council since 2009. I got reelected in 2012 and ran for mayor in 2016. Chairman Rambler knows Mayor Lewis very well, the person whose shoes I try hard to fill every day. But he was a great mentor and a great friend, and he's moved on to be the chairman of East Valley Partnership. And so we kind of tease him that he went from being the Gilbert cheerleader to the East Valley cheerleader. And I know he wanted to be here today. We did invite him. He's got about 30 kids, his own children and grandchildren, staying at his house this weekend. It's a big weekend for his family, as one son just returned from a 2-year service mission to Russia, and another son is leaving next Wednesday for a 2-year mission to Portugal. So he's got a lot of transition going on here, but he did want me to express to each of you his love, appreciation, and admiration for all that you do and continue to do, both to assist the town of Gilbert, but also to build Arizona and to build the San Carlos Apache people. We have many shared values. And that's one thing that struck me as each of you have spoken today. Faith has been mentioned. We are a community of faith. We have more than 60 churches located in the town of Gilbert. We are a church-going people. I have said many times to others that when churches come and ask, what can we do to contribute to the community? There's sometimes projects or service that they can offer, but more often than not, I tell them that as they continue to teach others to put God first, they are helping our community. And so I am grateful for that. Family is also key to each of us. We are a very family-friendly community. In fact, it's not uncommon to have this room be full of school children and Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts on any council evening. And my husband Eric and I have been married for 17 years. We have 4 children. Our oldest is 13, then 11, then 9. And I think last time we met, Bernadette, I think I was expecting a baby girl, and I did get her, and she's 6 now. And so, and she runs the house, especially when I'm not home. We have these shared values. I have said many times, Gilbert is a prosperous community. We are very fortunate here, but I believe that where much is given, much is required. And so we look and are actively looking for ways that we can serve not just those in the community, but how can we lift Arizona and how can we lift others. And so I am extremely excited about the continued partnership that we have. Water does help us. I think that the opportunity for us and for our residents to serve helps us even more. And so we very much appreciate this opportunity. I have a very quick presentation for you. I apologize for the 3 of you that are on this side, but it is going to be up on the screen. And again, it'll be brief. But just wanted to reiterate some of the long-term history. In 1992, the San Carlos Apache Tribe Water Rights Settlement Act, and we were actually a party in that. And this was really the first step in empowering the tribe to really explore the use of water for growth and development. And it also, I think, set the stage for the relationship between the town and the tribe. In 1999, this was the settlement agreement that authorized the tribe to lease its water to other parties and to other entities. And so while we were a party to the Settlement Act, this is really what gave us a formal opportunity. In 2010, I think it was pivotal for both of us. And it was in this year that the initial 100-year water lease was approved. And again, I had the privilege of being on the council at that time. And we do see this as the first of the actual formal partnership. So opportunity preceded this, and partnership is what's grown from this 2010. Unfortunately, as we all know, the federal government has so far prevented the long-term water lease from being enacted. And so we've entered into annual water leases in order for us to preserve the spirit of the original lease and also ensure that the tribe gets the monetary value that you deserve for this precious resource. We've been actually able to store this water for future uses, and that again helps us with our 100-year assured water supply as required by state law. So in order to assist the tribe in obtaining your full allocation from CAP, from the Central Arizona Project. We increased our water order this year to 29,000 acre feet. And I realized that that was a benefit really to both of us in order to be able to further this next conversation. And so we very much appreciate that. So that is a very brief overview. There's so much that has gone on in those many, many years, but for the purposes of today's meeting, I think that that is a very brief summary of how we've gotten to today. How did we get to May 26th? And that's what we see there. Chairman Rambler, do you have anything you'd like to add to that?
Before I do, I just forgot to mention something about us as a tribe and a people, is that today we are a little bit over 16,000 in population, and we have close to 2 million acres separated almost halfway down by the Nantucket Rim. So half of it is pine country, the other half is desert country. And in pine country, our elks that we have are in the top 5 in the whole world, not just the United States, the world. And recently, we had a coos deer, I believe it was, that was killed on our land, and that was the #1 in the whole world. So that's kind of like the variety that we have, and we've been very blessed with retaining that part of our ancestral homeland. And we have 4 political districts, 11 members of our council. There's a chair and a vice, and 9 district councils. We're not set up like the United States where we have 3 separate branches. We're basically a one branch government, but a little bit of tilt towards the judicial side. And we have 1 school district on our reservation. And then we have 3 other school districts around our reservation. One is about 96% from our reservation, and the other 2 we have Globe High School. That's major. We got a lot of children there, and Miami a few. Fort Thomas is the one 96%, and San Carlos Unified School District is the one that's probably all Apaches. So we have that, and going back in time, back in the 1850s, when miners discovered minerals in that area, which was this part of our reservation, and where Superior is in that area, is where myself and some members of the other council are on my father's side. That's where they originated from, in that area, until my relatives on my father's side were forced at gunpoint in that area to go to the reservation that was created by the United States, so that that area could be mined. And there was a lot of my relatives that were killed as a part of that process, and the reservation was established in 1871 and 72, and at that time, then we have an Apache Treaty of 1852 with Congress, and in that time, Congress had promised us, the federal government had promised us that this would be the land that we would keep forever. But after that promise was made, our lands were reduced further 6 times by executive orders by President of the United States throughout history, and we've lost more land. And part of that loss that we incurred was that those losses of land resulted in the mines being placed around us that popped up, and the agriculture that was to the people that are using those canals in that area. They're using the same that our people had dug, but they just put cement in there. And those type of things that have happened to us over the years, where as a result of those actions, we lost a lot of water rights too along the way for our people. And so that's why we're always highly guarded when it comes to water. You know, in Apache country, because of everything that's happened to our people, all the broken promises, is that when you see Apaches here today with the town of Gilbert, that means something. And you know, people should take it like that. That really means something, that we've come this way, the Apache leadership this way to the town of Gilbert, and we're sitting down with you. That means that that relationship is building, that trust is building, because trust is really important to us. I mean, it's just very, our elders pound that into us, is that you got to trust them, you got to trust them, and that's just the way it's been. That's been our history, and it's no fault of ours, you know. But today, you know, it's a good day, and to me, it's a good day, and we look forward to moving forward. We look forward to this proclamation today. We look forward to joining the case. You know, we look forward to the trip in D.C. Lobbying together, because to me, that's the beginning of our relationship. Is doing that, and we're just happy to be here, and the council, you know, we still support this agreement, and we will. And we hope to get it done, you know, hopefully sooner than later.
Thank you very much, Chairman. At this time, we would like to proceed with our ceremonial signing of the proclamation. So, Chairman Rambler, if you and I could sit at that table there, and we'll both sit in those chairs, and if our councils could come and stand behind us, we would like to come together, both symbolically and physically, in order to allow this proclamation to move forward. So we'll, at this time, switch seats. I'd like to read this out loud so that we're all aware. It says, whereas the San Carlos Apache tribe is a community rich with culture, natural resources, and heritage, and whereas the town of Gilbert has been growing rapidly from a small farming community to a sprawling municipality, while working hard to maintain the culture and values that make our community unique. And whereas the town of Gilbert recognizes the benefits of our relationship with the San Carlos Apache tribe as both of our communities continue to grow and prosper. And whereas the communities of both the San Carlos Apache tribe and the town of Gilbert value family, tradition, faith, and maintaining a strong connection among our residents. And whereas both the San Carlos Apache tribe and the town of Gilbert are committed to providing a vibrant, safe, strong community for our people to work, learn, grow, and thrive. And whereas providing the quality of life our people demand and deserve requires planning for future growth and the resources necessary to meet those needs. And whereas both the San Carlos Apache tribe and the town of Gilbert believe that collaboration and partnership play critical roles as we move into the next chapter of our development. And whereas agreements like the water lease entered into by both communities in 2010 represent real value for future economic development and growth, providing essential revenues to the tribe and vital water resources to the town. Now, therefore, the San Carlos Apache tribe and the town of Gilbert do hereby proclaim that our water lease marks a first step in the relationship between our communities, and commit to work together to seek opportunities for further cooperation and partnership in order to ensure our mutual success for generations to come. In witness thereof, we now at this time hereby set our hands of the San Carlos Apache tribe and the town of Gilbert, Arizona, this 26th day of May, 2017. Thank you, Chairman.
stand for a little bit longer. Okay.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you, Leah. Also, to mark this occasion, Chairman, we do have a gift for you. We'll have the council stay here because we have some gifts for each of you as well, but I'd like to first start here.
It's separated, so for travel, we can put it together. It doesn't travel well if you can't.
I just want to take note of what this is, Chairman. Thanks. The Gilbert Water Tower is really a symbol of our community. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the water tower. And so as a symbol of our gratitude to you, we've had this Gilbert Water Tower, which is a replica of ours, emblazoned with your seal as well. We want you to know, while we recognize water is so important, it's the partnership that you see here that's on this. So, thank you. It's not together because we didn't want for travel.
All right.
Thanks.
All right, thank you.
We'll ask Vice Mayor Peterson now to come to the podium, and Vice Mayor will present the other gifts. Thank you.
Mayor, if you want to take this with the chair.
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to have our council members help me with this. I will announce, we'll have a council member from Gilbert called to present another council member from the San Carlos Apache tribe, present them with a gift. So we'll start with Councilmember Cook, who will present to Councilman, wait, Ned Anderson is he here? Oh my, I'm not off to a very good start. Well, then I will move forward to the next one. Councilmember Bridget Peterson, if you could present to Councilwoman Bernadette Goody and pose for a picture together, that would be awesome.
You're welcome. So nice to have you here.
All right, now Councilmember Taylor, if you would present to Councilman Velasquez Sneezy Sr., that would be great. Oh my, I think I did that wrong, but that's okay. All right, since Eddie Cook didn't have anyone to present to, we will ask Eddie, Councilmember Cook, if you will present to Councilman Simon Hook. I will get everyone taken care of, maybe not quite in the same order as planned. Promise. All right, and since I am the vice mayor, I will present to, oh my, am I going to get this right? Tao Atpison. Did I get that right?
Yeah.
Is he here? He's not on my list, is he?
We must have.
He's not on my list, but we will ask, I will, Bridget Peterson, will you present to Councilman Antonio? And what was your first name? John Antonio, thank you. I remember him talking about the veterans.
You're working too much. She's working it too much. Thank you so very much.
Mayor, that was all of my assignments. I hope.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. We would like, before we recess to go upstairs for lunch, we would like to have a group photo, if that's all right with everyone, if you wouldn't mind coming down. Let's see. I'll have Leah and Renee move us to where we needed to go for the photo. Thank you.
Okay. Facing. So you're going to be over here? Sounds good. Thanks.
Mayor, I have a question. Do we bring our beer mugs to lunch?
We're going to call those ice water mugs for today's purposes, but you can use it for whatever you want later.
But we could have root beer, I guess, huh?
There you go.
Excuse me, Mayor. I want to make one comment.
Please.
I apologize when I first came into the building this morning. I come to the meetings early. The first lady I met was one that was chosen to make the bread.
Leah.
And I accidentally appointed her as a mayor. I apologize for that.
I will happily give her the gavel. We have a great team here in Gilbert. We're grateful for all those who made this meeting possible. Your team as well. Thank you. Lunch by special request is Joe's Real Barbecue. I won't call anyone out who requested it, Chairman, but we know good barbecue in Gilbert, so we have a great spread upstairs for you.